Hey, what's up everyone? BDF 44 here, coming at you with another video. So I just figured I'd give you a little update on some of the things that are going on in the NBA because we have some pretty solid moves here to talk about. First, we have Kim Birch is going to be headed back to the Toronto Raptors on a 3-year deal at 20 mil. I think that's a very good, solid contract for Kim Birch. Congratulations to him because I think this will be an opportunity for him to finally really show that he can be a winner in a situation where he'll probably have more of a role than he's had in the past. So I think that's a good thing, man. I think that's a really good deal. Frank Kaminsky's headed back to Phoenix for a 1-year deal. Elfrid Payton is also going to be going back to Phoenix for a second stint. We remember he was with the New York Knicks last year. This kind of gives him a little extra CP3 insurance. I think it's a secret, not secret, but sneaky is the word I'm looking for. A good signing. Because what it does is it gives them campaign and Elfrid Payton to give Chris Paul some, I guess you can say some insurance, so that if he's not healthy or whatnot, their team won't fall off a cliff. So that's a really, really good signing. The Toronto Raptors also signed a guy by the name of Ishmael Wainwright to a 2-year deal. I'm not familiar with that gentleman, but he's going to be boostering the Toronto bench. And the big news of the day is Kelly Oubre, 2 years, $26 million to the Charlotte Hornets. I think that's a really, really good signing on both sides there. Kelly Oubre is going to get a chance to lock up for 2 years on a team that allows him to run with a guy by the name of LaMelo Ball, and they have a very, very, very solid team with his addition to it. They've stabilized their guard position a bit. They've settled in on Scary Terry, I believe, at their 2-guard spot. We also know that they picked up Bookright in the draft. That's a very talented guard. And, of course, LaMelo Ball. They shipped Graham out to New Orleans and ultimately pick up Kelly Oubre. And I really like what they have there. You still got Gordon Hayward on the team. You still got P.J. Washington on the team. You still have Bridges there for you. That is a very nice lineup, y'all. Adding Kelly Oubre, sorry about that, to this team is rather substantial because it gives them another wiry dude to keep in that fast break situation they'll have down there. Boy, that's going to be fun to watch. He adds an entirely different dynamic to that team. Now they're one of the more athletic open court teams in the game. Really. They really, really are. They upgraded their center position. Zeller goes out. And I don't remember who that is that came in. I'm sorry, my head's gone blank. But I know for a fact they upgraded that position. So with that being said, yeah, they've moved up. They got better with Kelly Oubre. That's a big signing for them. Because what you want to do is give LaMelo Ball as many fast-paced players to run with as possible. Like his brother, he has that fantastic full-court pass and just that overall passing genius. And you couple that with the ability to just be a complete and utter nightmare to deal with scoring the ball as well as he's going to continue to develop into being. Kelly Oubre just gives him another wiry weapon to run with. And Bridges and them, those are open. Shots should open up a bit for those guys. Just give Kelly Oubre a chance to recreate some of the magic that he had in Phoenix. I think that dynamic is a bit more like Phoenix than Golden State was. No pressure to really win. That team's still gradually getting better. I think they'll be a playoff, play-in caliber team. But getting Kelly Oubre kind of gets them in a space where they're a bit better than some of the teams that they were kind of hovering around, in my opinion. I look at a team like the Boston Celtics and I say, y'all got to do something, man. Teams around you are getting better. Like, you can't, when you're an Eastern Conference team, in that bunch of Eastern Conference team, you got to understand, Detroit's getting better. New York has improved some. Chicago is obviously now a contender in the East. The Pacers, I believe, have taken steps forward. Brooklyn has obviously not taken any steps back. Milwaukee is obviously not taking any steps back. You look around and you realize that the Eastern Conference actually has plenty of talent this year. They're not a bad conference. Like a lot of guys from the Western Conference have kind of shifted their way east, in my opinion, to try to get far as hell away from LeBron as possible. And you now have more parity in this league in terms from one coast to the next. I haven't done my due diligence in thinking and looking at some of the rosters to see where we're at, but the Eastern Conference is now battling with the Western Conference as the better conference this year for maybe the first time, maybe my lifetime. As I look at the Western Conference, I see a bunch of teams that in theory should be juggernauts, but without the Lakers, with Kawhi being down this year, you see, and some of the teams kind of being in flux. Golden State, if they make this trade for Ben Simmons, I don't know what they're going to look like. Like, I don't know if they should do that, but Dallas doesn't look like they really got that much better. I look around, OKC's like they're in a different space right now. Portland's going to be taking some steps back, you believe. Houston's a couple years early. San Antonio probably a couple years early with a new young team. Sacramento a couple of years early, they're a young team. Phoenix is now in the mix, but I don't think they got much better than they were last year. They're kind of just the same team. The Eastern Conference is strong, man. Like, there's a lot of contenders out there. So I got to give some thought to that. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. And also, just one more bit of news. Iguodala is trying to figure out if he wants to go to one of three teams, and they are the contenders. You know the names: Lakers, Nets, Golden State. I think if I'm a betting man, I'd say he probably goes back to Golden State. That's where he's made his name. That's where he's made his money. Why wouldn't he go back there? Why would he choose the Lakers or the Nets of two teams he's never had any dealings with over Golden State? The answer would be because he wants to join what the Lakers got going on. But I don't think he would join the Nets for some reason. Heading back east, I just don't see him doing it. He's an LA dude. He's gonna likely choose between the two California teams, and I got a feeling he's gonna pick the team that he's already won it with. He's a part of that Golden State dynasty, so I would be very, very surprised if he chooses the Lakers or the Nets over his team. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at that. With that being said, if they are making a trade for Ben Simmons, I don't know if that would be the best decision for him to. I don't know what their team is going to look like. That's my thing. If they keep it the way it is right now, they're going to be fine. They're a contender. They're going to be in the mix with us and Phoenix. But if they do this Ben Simmons trade, it's gonna deplete their team a lot. They're gonna have to shuffle some players. They're gonna have to learn how to play with one another. They're gonna have to figure out if Dre and Ben can play with one another. If they're trading Dre, they're gonna hope that Ben can be Dre, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So, it's a big question mark for me in terms of what the Western Conference looks like as a whole, depending on what Golden State does next. Truly, and also Portland. Because if Portland moves Dame Lillard to a Western Conference team, that could sway some things too. That could sway some things a lot. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think if they do a deal with Dame Lillard involved, it'll probably be to the Boston Celtics, just my guess, or the New York Knicks, which is the team that everybody seems to think he wants to go to. So I would have said us, but we got Westbrook, and I don't see us doing anything but running it forward. So, yeah, man, that's what I got to say. There's some other things going on in the league, I believe. We still want to see what's happening with Dennis Schroeder and the Boston Celtics. That Marcus Smart thing is really, really intriguing. But someone said to me something that made a lot of sense after I made my video. And I was having a conversation about it online. And he said, if they push come to shove, Marcus Smart is worth a lot more than whatever it is they're going to trade him for to the Lakers right now if they were to do this deal. Unless they're trying to swing for a trade, as I said in my video. In my opinion, I don't ultimately think they're going to give us Marcus Smart for Dennis Schroeder. I know that they're discussing it, but weighing the option in my own head and having that conversation with somebody else, they really can hold on to Marcus Smart and trade him at the trade deadline pretty much for a lot more than whatever we're going to give up right now, with Dennis Schroeder coming this way, because that's a really tradable contract. It's on a 4-year deal. It's making like $12-13 million a year, and that's like a sweet deal for a guy that that can do a lot of things for you on both sides of the floor. And he's continuing to get better every year. Marcus Smart is. So you don't want to underestimate the value of that contract. It's a good one. And he's home. Boston is not a place he's ever left. He's always resigned there. They've kind of had a tumultuous up and down situation with his free agency because of the role he has on his team and because of how they try to get point guards around him. And he's been patient with that franchise, and they've been patient with him. So I just don't see them giving him up overnight in a trade like this to bring in a guy that really nobody wants, Dennis Schroeder, to be completely and utterly honest with you. Even though they're the team that makes the most sense, Marcus Smart is more of a legacy player on a Celtics team that's a legacy franchise. And I don't think they take that as lightly as to just give him up in an overnight deal like this. That doesn't make them that much better, if better at all. So the only reason why they do it is because they need that cap space now to do a deal that's likely going to give them a player that we don't want to help them get. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the Lakers do not want to facilitate Dame Lillard to our arch rivals. Not to acquire Marcus Smart. Hell no. So ultimately, I think that does not happen. But if it did, I wouldn't be upset because Marcus Smart could truly help us. But so could a guy like Aaron Baines, so could a guy like Iguodala, so could a lot of other players as well at this point. We just need some defense, in my opinion, and some more size in the forward spot. That's what I think. And with Kelly Oubre off the board, we can do a lot of things with the players that are still left. So we still have options. But that's what I got. That's what I got, man. My name is BDF44, and if more news starts to come about, as this Schroeder thing starts to play itself out, I of course will address it and bring it to you. My name is BDF44 once again. Thanks for watching.